It's Wednesday, May 29th. Here's what's coming up on the mayor's office.
Dude, what is it about catchers? Catchers are great managers. You know, it really just comes out the way. Bob Melvin, Bruce Bochy, Kevin Cash. You know, it's just something about catchers and how they see the game. They see the game a little differently.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, Chinchy. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Oh, I forgot. I went to a doctor's appointment today. Jess was gonna come with me and then go straight to work, which she did. And we both come downstairs and we're both wearing Grateful Warrior t-shirts.
Are you serious?
She's like, I'm like, do I have to change? She's like, no, I'll put a sweatshirt on over it.
Dude, how are you doing though, bro? You went to the cardiologist?
I went to a cardiologist. I'm just getting myself checked out, man. Get myself all
good. Dude. You looking good, bro.
Thanks, man. All good. Hey, you get in your 40s, kids.
Kids. I'm closing on my 50s, dude. 50s coming up.
There you go. There you go. Hey, I'll tell you, one guy who can relax. We talked about him yesterday. You made a great point that like you weren't going to knock this guy like the entire country is on the internet, but Angel Hernandez had his retirement. You had some really nice things to say about him as a person, you know, and of course he's controversial. People.
Dude, Angel's a good guy. If you don't know Angel, I mean, I'm saying like I understand the umpiring stuff, but I like Angel.
Yeah, I'm going to give you two quick examples. Mike Swanson responded to our post about him. For those who don't know, tell Mike Swanson.
Yeah, but so he used to be the long time PR guy for the Kansas City Royals and basically the league. One of the best to ever do it, man. Swanee's the greatest.
Amazing guy. He responded directly to our clip about Angel retiring. He said this is cool. I know there were challenges on field, but that didn't involve me. One of my favorite memories of him was when he held our 18-month-old girl after a game and told us how beautiful she was. For the next 22 years, he never failed to ask me how she was doing. Angel had a great heart. That's part one, like you said. Then this is another one, and you mentioned this a little bit yesterday too. Peter Gammons, folks know who he is, right? The GOAT, Hall of Fame.
The GOAT,
his quote about Angel Hernandez, also on X, Twitter, or whatever. An umpire's life is exceptionally tough, from the 6 a.m. flights to TV commentators second-guessing every call. May Angel Hernandez spend a peaceful life and never get booed.
I like that, man. I like that. Dude, I ran into Angel Hernandez lived in West Palm Beach, I believe. And then when I lived in Jupiter, Florida, I remember coming home for an all-star break one time. And you can't wait to be home for the all-star break. And neither can the umpires. And I ran into him at the airport. That is when I really had a conversation with him. That was like, man, I like that guy a lot. Like, I was like, hey, Angel. He's like, hey, Sean, how you doing? Where do you live? I'm in Jupiter and West. You know, we just had like a 5-minute conversation. It was really cool. And like I said, and then I think when I saw him on the field after that, you know, our relationship was always a little different because of that meeting up in the airport. But like I said, Angel Hernandez is a good guy. And I also think that at some point, everyone's career runs its course. And I think it's time for him to you know, do something else.
Yeah, there you go, man.
You know, in a good way.
God bless him, bro. Will he not be covering one of the great, I would argue, maybe the best race in baseball right now? And we're talking AL Central. We teased it yesterday, dude. As of today, Cleveland Guardians 37-18, Kansas City Royals 34-22, Minnesota Twins 30-24. They're slacking a little bit, but all three of those teams, Guardians in first, Royals 3.5 back, Twins 6.5 back, all way over 500. Let's dig in here. Who do you want to start with?
No, it's, you know what, I think you've got to start with the Guardians, right? I mean, you got to start with the job Stephen Vogt's done all year long. I mean, Voter, one of the best personalities that Major League Baseball's ever seen. And I think, you know, he goes from that role of being dude, what is it about catchers? Catchers are great managers. You know, it really comes out the way. Bob Melvin, Bruce Bochy, Kevin Cash, you know, it's just something about catchers and how they see the game. They see the game a little differently. But Stephen Vogt, goes right from the field right to the manager of the Indians. The Guardians. Sorry, and we're wondering, man, with Terry Francona leaving, who obviously had such a huge impact on that organization, all-time winningest manager, I think. What were they going to be like? And Stephen Vogt kind of slides right in, has kind of that same Tito personality where, you respect him out the gates, especially for him being just off the field. But he's got to, you also know, he's got your back. He's funny. He's good to be around. Yeah. So I think when you look at the Guardians, man, their pitching's been better than advertised. Yeah. Their bullpen's been one of the best in the game. Clause's the real deal at the back end of that pen. And they've swung the bats. They've swung the bats with, Josh Naylor is scuffing a little bit lately, but he's got big power numbers this year. Jose Ramirez is playing like an MVP. Andres Jimenez has played pretty well this season. Stephen Kwan's got off to a hot start, but he's been, obviously on the IL for a little bit here. But you go top to bottom there, it's just like that lineup's been swinging it. Yeah.
I got a question for you, dude. This is great. I love Jose Ramirez, dude. The guy. First of all, he's great lefty, righty. Everything he does is awesome, right? Somebody suggested
he can box.
Somebody suggested to him the other day, like, hey, you got the Barry Bonds treatment because he was walked with the bases loaded in the 6th inning on Sunday. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see that. No,
it wound up being a 5-4 win for them. So where is it? Somebody asked him about getting the Barry Bonds treatment, and here's his quote: "I'm better than Barry Bonds." And so these guys on one of the Cleveland podcasts were talking about, and this one guy, Joe Noga, he goes, I mean, that's what you got to love about him, is that he's got that confidence, and he does, dude. He's been one of the best players in baseball for the past 7-8 years. Yeah, maybe longer. Yeah. So
J Ram, he's in that conversation every year for the MVP, right? I mean, he's right there. Yeah. For the NBA. I don't believe he's won it yet, Chinch, right? But has he won it?
No,
I know he's right there. He's been second a few times.
Third a couple times.
Second and third a couple times. I mean, dude, you said it right, man. The guy is switch hitter, hits for power, drives and run, RBI machine, drives and runs. And listen, it's one thing to be in the middle of a lineup. Like, you're Juan Soto in the middle of the Yankees lineup. Listen, you're Juan Soto, you're great. You're obviously going to be a dominant player. But to be in a lineup like the Guardians, where you don't have a ton of protection, and everyone knows J Ram's the only guy for years that could really beat you, and he still does. Right. That means you're a heck of a player.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you think about Bonds, you go back to Bonds. There was a couple years there, maybe towards the end, where he was the one guy that could beat you, right? And he did.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Those times, there were years where he was the only guy on especially early on, before like the team started building around him a little bit more. But yeah, so you got that. Then you talk about MVP type candidates, Sal Perez too, for Kansas City, and Bobby Witt. They got basically 2 MVP type candidates. Sal's hitting 322 with 939 and missed some time, right? Wow. Bobby Witt, forget about 303, 9 and 36, and he's stealing bags too. 16.
Yeah, 908 OPS too, Bobby Witt, and playing a great shortstop.
Yeah. I mean, they are a legitimate team, like you keep saying, and their pitching has been good. You can't say anything bad about these 3 teams. I mean, the one team that the Twins are a little behind right now, but they've proven that they can hang in there. So as we go, this is kind of the division race that we're focusing on a little more than some of the other ones, I think.
Yeah, and you know what's funny too? You look at the Twins. Kepler's, had a great year so far. Correa's swinging the bat. Jeffers has been a total surprise, and put up some big numbers as the catcher DH there. Buxton's back in the mix. Castro swung the bat well. Miranda swung the bat. I mean, these are not household names, but these are guys that are all having really good years, and that's why the Twins are 30 and 24. So it's fun because, you want to look at the East. Obviously, the Yankees and the Orioles are 2 of the best teams in the game, but you just can't sleep on the AL Central this year because these teams are for real.
They are for real.
And I want to give a shout out to my man Matty Quattraro out there in Kansas City. Man, he's came over from Tampa a couple years ago. Had been a big candidate to be a manager for years. Just missed on a couple jobs. Finally got a shot out there in Kansas City, and he's delivering too.
Yeah, I'll give a shout out too for giving shout outs. I like Joe Ryan, bro. How about these numbers so far this year? 4-3 record, 2.96 ERA, 73 Ks and 67 innings pitched. His whip is .94. Like you're getting an ace. I mean, he's ace form right now. He's only 27 years old.
Yeah,
Get together over there.
Well, you thought with Ryan doing what he did last year with Sonny Gray, I think people were scared about, losing Sonny Gray, but then Lopez is, obviously great too. He's been in that rotation. Hasn't been like so locked down, but he's got Cy Young. I mean, a lot of people thought, that Lopez would win the Cy Young, had a chance to win the Cy Young this year. So you got some good arms in that rotation too.
Yeah, you do. I'll tell you, the guys that have good arms in their rotation, the Dodgers, man, just winning. They got a 4:00 game against the Mets today. Just is on our way into work.
Dude, the Mets.
What is this
They're
going?
scuffling, dude. Man, I feel bad.
So I just want to ask one question about that. Not necessarily specifically about the Mets, but like the way this league is structured now with the way the wild cards are, okay? If you're a general manager of a team, the Mets, for example, you are 22-32 right now, okay, as a team. So it's like prior 5 years ago, it'd be like, all right, let's get ready to punt and let's start punting. They're only 6 games out of a wild card. So like, it's a little dangerous. Is it worth staying in it to get to a wild card, even if your team is maybe a 500 team? That's the way this setup is now, the way the wild card stretches out a little more. It's a question for these GMs, is it worth it getting into the playoffs, even if you don't think you're a good team? Or is it better to regroup? It is.
No, it's worth it to get in, dude. It's still hard to get even with the wild card system. So if I'm a GM, it's worth it to try and get in, to play, even make some trades at the deadline. If you think you're a fringe team and you make a trade at the deadline, next thing you know, that trade puts you over the threshold where now you're a team that's making that run. I think about the Mets too. I mean, don't forget that Senga is their best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the game, and he hasn't even pitched yet for the Mets. So like, it's like the Yankees getting Cole back, but they've been really good. If you get Cole back, you're adding a star. Well, you get Senga back for the Mets, and you're adding one of the best pitchers in the game. So
yeah,
I think if you're a team like the Mets right now, you're hoping to hold on, not get too low below 500, and if you get Senga back, maybe he can give you a boost.
Yeah, and David Stearns made a decent point, and he's gotten Heyman gave him credit. I think it was a smart move yesterday. He said, what Stearns has brought in there, they've all done well. You got Bader out there playing a great center field.
Yeah.
The pitchers they have been pitching well. The guys who aren't performing are their stars. Lindor, Alonso, those two
McNeil.
guys. Yeah, exactly. Oh, McNeil's done nothing. He's slamming a bat every at bat. But those guys get hot, you're looking at an absolutely different lineup. So it's a good point you make. Like there's still time to hang in there. The deadline's still a month away. And to your point again, also about getting into the playoffs. If the Los Angeles Dodgers can go on a 5-game losing streak, baseball's a little different than the NBA. Like if you have a dominant center and you can't stop the center, you're probably going to lose that series.
Right.
Baseball, you can get hot, almost like hot. So
the weird thing about the Mets this season, they started off 0-5, then they went on that big time run, and now they're going on a run the other way again. It's like it's just been a weird year for them,
Yeah.
They got some bats. JD Martinez, hasn't gotten hot yet. Nimmo's kind of been up and down.
Right.
Alonso's starting to heat up a little bit. Lindor's been hovering around 200 pretty much the whole year. So, yeah, you're right. If the stars come out, you never know, the Mets can make a run.
Yeah. Well, there we go. We'll see. What do you got going on today? You got some
I am going to hit with a buddy of mine, Thomas Medwig, a young up and coming also a Breakthrough Pro, veteran. Been 3 years of Breakthrough Pro, and then meeting with him today to hit a little bit. He's in high school, going to be a senior, and just a great kid. And so I'm getting ready to go hit with him a little bit, and then got some other stuff going on. Breakthrough Pro, we just announced July 14th. July 14th. So if you if you want to sign up, go to breakthrough-pro.com. And I'm trying to promote it. So I'm doing some videos. I got a guy coming over today doing some videos at
nice.
Yeah. So we're trying to move the needle, Chinch, just like the podcast. You know what I mean?
There we go. By the way, I've looked at our numbers. People are subscribing. We need more. Guys, we'll give you stuff. We'll give you free stuff.
Yeah, we're looking to give away things. Subscribe and download. That jersey, we tried to give away the 72 jersey. Looks like we're not going to do that because we can't get the 4,000 on the subscribe and download. If you subscribe and download, we want to give that away to somebody signed.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Go hit him. Go hit.
All right, Chinchy. Sounds good, man.
Get back after it tomorrow, bro.
All right, brother. Have a great rest of the day, dude. Great seeing you. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. See you.